Okay. Audio test 1, 2. Audio test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. All right, audio test 1, 2. Okay, that's better. Great. All right, welcome to today's live stream. First one in a long time. Today's focus is going to be NQ. Really liking it actually this morning. Woke up and I'm like, you know what? This is pretty good price action that we're going to be trading into. And as you can see, I've changed my chart layout to better accommodate multi-time frame analysis for us. So what we'll have on the left-hand side is going to be the daily time frame. So here is a daily fair value gap. Okay. Yesterday was a day of seek and destroy, consolidation. Today you can see we have doji type candle, but I am liking these relative equal highs and lows. So if we kind of look at the next kind of box here, from a daily perspective of where price can go, we did take out these relative equal highs and lows right there. Relative equal highs and lows. And what am I saying? It's just highs. You're a longs, good man. That's all I'm looking for longs today. This level right here is my area of interest for today. I only want to see longs at this point. We took out these relative equal lows. These ones right here, relative equal lows. And on the 5 minutes, any inversions here? No, nothing. Here is the 7 o'clock candle. No, do not go without me here. That would be the target for today. This is going to be buy side liquidity. This green bar here is yesterday's first presentation. You can see how nicely price like used the lower half of it before it kind of broke higher. It actually never did break higher, but we had pretty nice support and resistance, you know, in the past. So I'll be looking at a pop higher here and kind of taking like a 2.5 to 1, possibly. Waiting for the right position here. Hey, Vito, you took a long at 29400 on NQ100. Nice. sure my trade copier is on. I got to make sure all the systems are working. All right, should be trade copy. What does no feed mean on my trade copier? One sec, guys. I'm gonna try buying one and selling one and see if that copies. That'll be the best way to do it. Okay, it works. Perfect. Okay, I think all my systems are working today as intended. Sorry, give me one sec, guys. Just haven't live streamed in such a long time. I feel like all right, so what happened here? Relative equal lows pushed. Sorry, guys. Lots happening here. Relative equal lows have been swiped on the 15-minute chart. You can see here nicely. We had this nice rejection here from 4:45 all the way till 7 o'clock. You can see here price at 7 o'clock create this massive downward candle. And what fair value gap I'm going to be looking at on the 1 minute is this one right here. This one is of interest. If we pop to the upside here, and we get above this first presentation from yesterday, I think that's going to be a pretty safe direction to go long, to attacking these relative equal highs. Am I looking for lower prices? Honestly, as of right now, no. London highs are way too clear. I don't trade gold. No. Maybe in the future. I used to trade gold. Not anymore. It's just NQ and ES, ZAR trader. But we got a relative equal lows from yesterday, a tag. And let me see here. Yeah, sorry about that. I keep myself just to 1 to 2 asset classes just because it's easier. It's easier to keep track of what's happening. I think one asset class is really all you need. But I know some individuals like to trade multiple and they just find the best one for the day. I think that also works as well. So it's just based on what your strategy is, right? yeah, crazy highs. Even on ES, guys. If you have a chart on ES, I have one here on the 1 minute. You don't see it, but it's crazy relative highs and lows here. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to plot out the midnight opening price, which is right here. And again, we're below it, which is good. So again, what we want to see is when we're taking longs, it's really good to be below midnight opening price and trading into it and through it, targeting relative highs and lows. What's this? What's this Asia thing here? Let's remove it. Will that remove Asia? It will. Perfect. Okay. That's a true midnight open right there. And something that I like to do is I like to create the first presentation as well around midnight open. So it's the first real displacement, which is going to be this candle right here, that can be used for trading. And you can see here just during the London session, and again, I don't trade the London session, but you can see here how, you know, here is a bit sloppy on the rejections, but like this little bounce, this little bounce, this little bounce, this, like these 5 support points acted really well. So this is going to be, and I'm just going to tag it here. So if we do get long, this is going to be the attack. So this is going to be, and this is going to be a blue bar because it's abyssy. It's going to be first presentation after midnight. You know, I feel like your long might be snagged out soon. This is like a very smooth low here. I know that it wicked here, but see how all of these lows, all the bodies are relatively equal? That is a telltale sign that this is most likely sell side liquidity that may get swiped. So that is something that you should watch out for. Again, from a 1 minute perspective. It looks okay on the other time frames, but from a 1 minute, that's alarming. Would I go short into this? Honestly, no. Why? It's just because of these highs here. I'm probably not going to be taking any shorts, and I'm just going to be patiently waiting for an opportunity to grab this market long. Unless something changes. I hooded up from yesterday. I was up, but so yesterday was a seek and destroy day. Did it chop you up? I like how we traded into, see this area right here? This is yesterday's RTH gap. I like how we traded into it right now. It didn't trade in regular trading hours. Currently we are in electronic, but it was interesting kind of seeing that. Something that might be seen right now is a push back to this fair value gap here. This is the first presentation after 7 o'clock. It's a reasonable fair value gap. Seeing a rejection and it just driving to these lows and maybe reversing. Again, we have to wait for price to give us something, but as of right now, macro is ending. The macro to this drive right here at 7 o'clock, I think that's very difficult to catch, especially from a 1 minute perspective. But right now, it looks like it's just trailing towards these lows here. Hourly looks very bullish as well, or bearish as well, generally speaking. But again, just because it's printing lower lows and lower highs, again, it doesn't mean that areas like this are out of scope for us to trade. So again, this might be a trade around maybe 750. We'll see. We'll see how it reacts to the sell side liquidity. It gives like a sharp rejection because I'm looking at the time frames here. Like you can see the 15-minute here in the middle is my most favorited one. We're going to be trading today 300. Okay, that's fair. I see a small head and shoulders on NQ. Head and shoulder pattern. Haven't traded those in a very long time. Let's see if I can see your head and shoulder pattern. I don't do patterns like that anymore. I don't know where your head and shoulder pattern is. Like maybe this, shoulder, head, very high right shoulder, and then a drop. But again, this here is, again, I think sell side here is going to be tagged, guys. This is like the immediate draw for price. I'm not going to be taking anything unless we get a pullback here and I see like resistance that price is really like struggling to break into this. That might be a quick little 1.5, 2 to 1. But as right now, I think it's going to continue dropping down to this low here. Hey, Martin, man. Hey, Martin, are you back from your vacation? Are you still in? It wasn't Bali. What was it? Was it Bali or Thailand? I think it was Thailand. You know what's a rejection block here on the 1 minute? It's this right here. Again, I'm not putting much weight to it, but this is a rejection block here. You see how price is rejecting that lower wick? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. See, there you go. Sell side liquidity being snagged. Again, it's just not a trade. We can guess we can guess where price is going, but we need a bit more on putting risk against the position. Yes, 2 weeks in Thailand, now in 2 weeks in Bali. Oh, nice. Good stuff, man. You must feel super relaxed. This right here is not a sweep, guys. This is just a little dinky wick going in this area. It did touch that rejection block once again, and you can see it pushed away from it. But I think at this point, I think price would want to really kind of dig into it. Like if it got this low to this rejection block, which got rejected once and twice, or got supported twice, I really think it's going to drive lower here. Oh, but those relative highs on Asia and London, they look too clean. So that's going to be like the super high probability trade if the trade spans out. Yeah, but you can see here, like that's like the 5 minute there. Nice, eh? Sell side. I would be surprised if price never tags or it doesn't give like a nice dig into these lows. But right now, what it's creating is relative equal lows here. Like, let's assume, and again, like you always have to do this with NQ and any asset class. Like, assume like if price were to go up from here, what would it leave? Relative equal lows. And then we have these relative equal highs. And that gets tricky. So I really hope that we get that push lower and see if we get some inversion. But again, it's tricky, guys. It's tricky. We're trading in this, let's map this. This blue bar here, this is the daily fair value gap. And if you want to add some quadrants to, you know what's actually really interesting, guys? Look at this. Isn't that crazy how this wick right here on the daily almost touched mean threshold here? And then again, so this is like a very bullish reaction. Wicks not being able to touch a mean threshold of a gap, which is a wick. Rejection. And now we create these relative highs here. Now we're pushing down into this fair value gap once again. This blue bar. I do not like how we went into this. This is a rejection block here. It rejected it again. But this ultimately is creating smooth lows for us, right? Hi, Moise. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. That's good. That's good. Getting them young, getting them used to the charts at a young age. Telling you guys, if you guys don't have kids yet, once you have kids, you kind of look back and you're like, what was the point of life without kids? Greatest joy in life. All right, guys. We push into this rejection block in the 1 minute. Today's Thursday. Today should be a good trading day. Yesterday was seek and destroy. Today, again, like if yesterday's day was consolidation, today it's leaning more into expansion. I really hope that we push back into that daily fair value gap above us, targeting these highs here. That, like, if that trade were to be caught, I'm done trading. That's the one and done for today. Is it going to happen pre 9:30? We'll see. But remember, when it comes to trading pre 9:30s, it's a very simple rule for those that are new to this stream. We look for, and I'm scrunching it right now, and this is the easiest way to do it. You scrunch your charts just like this, and you look from the open, or from 7 o'clock. Where's 7 o'clock? Right here. What did price do? It consolidated sideways. It pushed lower, but it left these highs here, which we're bouncing off of Tuesday's first presentation. You can probably find other levels that it's bouncing off of. But that's what it did. And can price continue pushing lower and leave that daily fair value gap above us and just continue digging into this? It could, right? I really like the idea of it, pulling back here, getting some damage, and then dropping down even further. That would be nice to see. I'm liking how price right now is attempting a second push lower into this rejection block, and hopefully it tags these lows and it clears them out. This is going to be London lows here, right? This right here is session liquidity. I know I put it there, but technically it doesn't how you want to look at it, but ultimately sell side liquidity is going to be like right here. It's like true, like getting a body below that. That'd be nice to see. And then again, if you see like a solid fair value up to the downside, and then it invert, that might be an aggressive entry to the upside. I might enter with like half R there. Something like that, right? 8 to 1. Are you guys looking for shorts today? Longs? I'm curious what you guys think too. But again, like look at the 15-minute sell side liquidity sweep from yesterday. We pushed higher. We got this little 15-minute fair value gap here that we're about to close to the downside. Longs, yeah. And even if it keeps dropping, then it's just like whatever. Like letting Q drop. The moment you stop chasing trade, guys, that's when your P&L starts going higher. If price gets below, like if you look at my daily chart, top left, And you see that red line saying 0.5, like the mean threshold of that wick there. I'm going to be kind of concerned about longs at that point, because that means we're tagging, like, this is yesterday's low here. This here is previous day low, okay, PD low. Like, if it gets that low, then, you know, I don't know about these longs anymore for like the session. But you can see here, that's a dig there that we're looking for. Perfect. So that's a nice closure below London lows. I'm not seeing anything bullish yet on the charts. Like 15-minute, if we drop below this fair value gap, it's going to be an IPG at that point. Like the moment that body closes, I know it's small here, but let me blow it up a bit more. In 7 minutes, if we get close like that, that's going to be, you know, another thing for the bears. And it can use that to push price lower and grab these lows here. If we don't see a clean setup, guys, then you just let the session go. Yeah, 1 hour is bearish to push to the 1 hour chart. Let me open it up for you guys. This is what the 1 hour looks like here. I'm gonna read my long position here. But it pushed into like a fair value gap. You can see bodies close that mean threshold, drops lower, right? From a 1 hour perspective, you know, these highs look absolutely brutal. It is going to be a drawn liquidity. But again, previous day low was right below us. And we just have to figure out what price wants to do here on the pre-930 session. But anyways, back to the 1 minute here. The first IFEG, it's going to be right here, actually. So again, if it, this is going to be an aggressive entry. If it closes above, you get a sick RR, but the issue here is body would have to close above. It's a sweep on London. And then you're assuming it's going to be going higher. But we can see here, price went into this fair value gap here, rejected, okay? So no confirmation there. So that might be, I'm just going to have 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I were to be taking that, it might be something like that. Previous day low is right here as well. It'd be nice to see price like dig into previous day low. And then I think that would be a higher probability long using like the first IFEG that it creates. But I'll be watching this as well here. We can't speculate. We just have to see what price gives us and we'll trade off of that. I might even do half risk, to be honest. I might even risk 150 on this trade and then scale in once it confirms that IFEG. We're not on the right time yet, too. Remember, it's time then price. Also, one more puzzle piece here using RTH. Where did we close yesterday? Oh, we closed at 518. So this price right here, it's going to be a red line on the charts, guys. But when I go back to electronic, this is where we closed yesterday. So we're very close to where we closed. If we open up near here, what's the rule? At least what's my rule and ICT's rule? You don't trade the first 30 minutes. Small RTH gap, let the 930 session go. Large, tradable. Am I looking for shorts here to this level? Honestly, no. It could go there. Why am I not? Because London low has just been tagged. And honestly, if it keeps going lower, I'm watching it go lower. But again, this was a nice little rejection here of this fair value gap here. Bodies staying in the lower quadrant of it. See? Wick's not even touching mean threshold. So that's still bearishness here, guys. And you gotta think about it, like if you were to take a short, like where would you take it? All right, if like remember before I said if price gets into this level, it never did, right? Like this would have been like a potential short for like a 1.5 to 1, but it never gave us that, right? There was no entry. Previous day low. One of my friends who's a pretty big trader, he just took a short on NQ. He's targeting 29,200. Interesting. So he's targeting mean threshold basically of that daily wick. Yeah, because the daily is ultra bearish. Or sorry, the hourly. But anyways, I'm not going to let that skew my bias. We're going to do like a little pullback play, if anything. But again, very bearish here. Previous day low is under attack, I think, at this point. We're going to wait for the macro. We'll see what the macro gives us. Maybe we might take a short to this, but it's going to have to be very compelling. Because at this point, you're chasing. Like, look at this run here. Like, if you look at swing high to swing low, like swing high, right? Here's the low. And now we're breaking below it. So, you know, just remember, price tends to pull back a lot. And taking a short from here, you'd have to, and I'm not taking this, I'm just letting you know, guys. You'd have to put your stop loss in an area where it's safe. And at this point, to be honest, I think this IVG would be invalidation. But like it's a 1-to-1 here, taking it at such an extension and trying to target that previous day low. So I know it might work out, but it's not something that I'm going to be taking because long term, I don't think that's going to be profitable for me. It has to be at least a 2-to-1 and it has to have some more context and not chasing. So there's just no opportunity at all. Like no fair value absolutely. Like from 7 to 719, not even a single fair, like this is considered like high resistance trading, like not a single fair value gap. Like that was like the first one really, these two. And we use it to really push lower here. We'll see. Previous day low. Let's put an eyeball here. This level is of interest. What do I have here on the 15-minute chart? What's this? Oh, this is that. Okay. Is anyone in shorts right now? I'm just curious. Because it might just dribble all the way down here. Fortunately, no entry. Oh my gosh. It's going to be one of those days. If it attacks previous day low, I'm going to be looking for that first IFEG. That's going to be a long for me. Vito, where's your stop loss, man? Are you in longs right now? Did you just write that? I think you wrote that before. All right. $15-minute, very strong, like bearish presence. If it breaks this high here, this is going to be an MMS too. One sec. This right here. That's going to be an MMS to the upside. I just don't think that price is just going to just break lower. If it does, I'll be shocked. Because usually, remember, like the question I ask myself is, what is NQ going to do to hurt the most traders? And I think everyone's like, oh, like everyone's bearish. Let's go. And then it just completely reverses. That was interesting here. So we've got this is a suspension block here. Suspension block. Price went into mean threshold, closed lower. Price right now is attempting again. $8, that's not bad. That's today's lunch, right? The safest trade is going to be going long after like it clears this first presentation after 7 o'clock, I think. But if you really want that RR, it's tricky now, guys, because previous day low is right here. I'm not going to take a trade here unless I'm fully confident here, like 80% plus. And honestly, guys, you don't see a trade and you want to see a trade on the stream, too bad. We need to make some money. I've been trading really nice last week remotely through my cottage. And I'm thinking like maybe just because like live streaming pressure was off of me. And then this week it's been a bit tougher, but for the month I'm up a couple of hours. I'll show you guys a pretty cool tool after that I use. If we get a trade. Suspension block, bodies closing in the upper half here with the bodies, right? You don't want to see, if this is truly bearish, you don't want to see the suspension block break here. The strong PD array, what is it? It's when there's like a little body above, or sorry, volume balance above and below. Like see how I drew here? That's a suspension block. And that is a more weighted fair value gap. So again, if I was short here, I'll probably put my stop loss below candle number 1 of the fair value gap right here and just lock in some profit or break even at this point. New day opening gap. New day opening gap. One sec. Where are my new day opening gaps? Why don't I see them? Oh, they're all above me. Okay. I'm looking at, yeah, ES right now tagged London lows as well. We're 10 minutes from the macro, 10, 15 minutes. Remember, trade the right time, then the price. It's not the right time right now. But again, I just feel like it's just going to dribble to these lows here. So again, if gun to my head right now, I think these lows are going to get tagged like up next. As long as the suspension block here doesn't get violated to the upside, like unless there's a close to the up, that's when things might start shifting. But looking how bearish the 5 minute, the 1 hour is, the 15 minute, the daily. Oh, you bought it at 99 cents? Is it at 115 already? Oh, it's 117. Holy shit. You can see my scale ins here. I bought roughly 3,000 at $1.47. I thought that was a low. Silly me. And I bought a couple more here at $1.03. But it wasn't a lot. It was like $1,000 worth. I still have, if XRP gets down to like 90 cents, I'm going to do a pretty heavy scale in. Like this is my final buying level. One sec. 90 cents. Let me look at NQ quickly. There you go. Yeah, it's still bearish. I can't take anything on it. This is going to be 90 cents roughly. I will buy here, even 95 cents. I feel like this is a fake pump. And the reason why, the reason why is because, like, let's look at the Bitcoin chart quickly. I know, guys, I know this is an NQ channel, but this is what's going to retire a lot of people very soon, in my opinion. But let's look at the Bitcoin chart. So time then price, crazy. Look, time 364. It's exactly 1 year, 364. So to be honest, this is wrong. I have a feeling from highest high on the weekly, 364 here. If this high gets violated here, I think the bull run's over. So like the moment we breach 82,000 on Bitcoin and we close above it, I think that's the low. Because if we ever look at any other previous downwards move here, once that high gets breached of the previous swing, weekly swing, like the trend's over. It's super clear. So I have a feeling it's just going into this fair value gap right here. Maybe this inversion. Hopefully we don't break it. And then I'm using ICT concepts. That's funny, but hopefully we go lower, and then around the week of the 28th, I think that's going to be the low for Bitcoin, for all asset classes. And then there's going to be a 3-year pump. And this is like money making season. And I think I'm going to sell my entire bag right here. So that's the plan, guys. That's the Bitcoin plan. I can't believe Bitcoin's or XRP's up 7% today. Cool. All right. Anyways, back to NQ. What funds crypto purchases? You can see how that suspension block is holding price lower. But the moment I see something like that, where it's just like bouncing within it, I don't like that. What you want to see is you want to see bounce, go down, not like bounce and hover. That is suspicious behavior. Okay. Especially. But at this point, what I want to see is I want to see that previous day low swiped before going higher. It would really suck seeing it creating a relative equal low and pushing higher. If it does that, I'm going to have to wait for like a significant price swing, like maybe above this fair value gap, and start using that to push price higher. I really hope we don't invert this now. Come on, keep pushing lower price. Get that previous day low, wick it out, and then give us that invert. And that would be nice because we'd have an RTH gap to the downside. So a lot easier for longs. Yeah. Yeah, take care. Take care, Martin. We shall wait for the entry here. Okay, price broke above the suspension block here. Again, this is not an entry for longs. It just broke a PD array to the upside at 741 outside of macro. I'm still very suspicious of this low here. I liked how we took London lows. To be honest, right there would be a nice short. I might take that if price lets me. Quantity 1. That I liked. Sell, buy. Okay. So we try pushing above it. Failure swing. I'm just doing half an hour here just because it's at such a better close. It's closing perfect. The close at the bottom of the suspension block, and then I'm attacking previous day low here. Wouldn't want to see suspension block break to the upside. Let's see if let's maybe put my stop loss right there. Half R here. Let's see. I rate the setup as, I'll probably say just a B. Failure close above suspension block, huge drive lower, and just using that volume there. But it looks like why is that only a $50 loss here? I took a very small position. It shouldn't have. Oh, I had my risk settings incorrect here. That should have been, something is wrong here. This should have been 3 instead of 1 for half. Okay, so I'm all right. I accidentally took an ultra small position here, but so be it. It's a B position anyway. So risk is $50 here for just under $200 in profit, or $100. Sorry. And again, we'll see if it wants to use that to push lower. If we get a closure below that suspension block, I'm going to scale in one more. Okay, I'm going to scale in one more there. High's going to be above that bullish order block there. It should be a bullish order block at that point. Stop loss is slightly below. The stop loss is right there. Again, this is not like an ultra high probability setup, guys. This is just price going down to these previous day low here. I just don't see reversing at this point. I'm going to buy one more here. So I'm still risking half of my regular risk that I take on trades. But again, I think that's where price wants to go right now. It's previous day low. No bullish PD array is supporting price at all right now. Let me do this. You guys see my entries here. And again, worst case scenario here, I get stopped out for just under half risk. So this is not a full risk trade for me. Once price gets to, let's see here. Am I anchored to that low there? I am. Okay. Oh, wait, are both of my accounts copying this or just one? No accounts are copying this. Oh my gosh. I had a feeling my trade copy would break here. Okay. All right. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Freaking Tradecopia. Why didn't you trade copy? Okay, anyways, I'm just going to check my other account quickly to see if it pulled through. Oh, no. It's trade copying. Perfect. Okay. Nice. Tradecopia is glitching on me. I might move back to Tradesyncer. But this is where a huge push lower here, guys. Sorry. Technical difficulties from my end. Little fair value gap here. Probably don't want to see the mean threshold of this being touched at this point. So moving my stop loss a bit lower here. Fair value gap here, fair value gap here. I just want to see this drive at this point. Once it gets below this 1 minute bullish fair value gap or up close candle, I'm gonna go to break even. If you guys learned something here, guys, today, feel free to drop a like. I know today was a very late week on streaming. It's gonna be my only stream this week. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stick to 1 to 2 a week. All right, so we close below it. I'm break even. The stop loss right there. There you go. And that's the position, guys. $300 in profit. Took half R. And do you see how like I kind of scaled in as my confidence went up? So that's the business for today. And we'll see if we can get a reversal here, maybe. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I was gonna make sure on my other account it also fully closed everything. Yeah, it did. Okay, good. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's see if we're gonna get along here now. So that's the position, guys. And so previous day low has been tagged. Was this a clean swipe of previous day low? No, it wasn't. It's just a wick. I do not trust this. I want to see a dig lower and do more damage before a possible reversal. Okay. This was a test trade. Did anyone grab that short? If you guys did, let me know in the chat. Again, B entry. I wasn't crazy about it, but it's just price was heading lower. It went into this rejection block, use it as inversion, crazy drop lower. This candle here, it almost took me out, but you can see here it immediately dropped. Again, body staying within the suspension block, and then it just powered through. Look, everything's bearish on every single time frame. It wasn't a feel-good trade, but it delivered. And it was right before that macro, right? We got in 8 minutes before, so 10 minutes before and like 10 minutes after, like that half an hour is my favorite, and it usually delivers at macro. And right now we're at macro. So there you go. That's up. See, this is like the push lower to really attack and target. Thanks, Vito. I'm looking for a long setup. Yeah. I'm into longs too right now. Remember, we closed here. We're down here. It'll see. It'd be really nice to see some like expansion lower, and then giving us a little trade higher. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dum. I'm looking right now, hindsight. Like, could I have taken the short anywhere else? And I can't find an entry. Like, I really can't, guys. Like, was there a better entry? Like, here I just swiped these lows, so I wouldn't have entered short there. Suspension block. Really failing, getting close to, yeah, so. See, like, I just don't think I could have gotten more R out of that. There's just nothing. Hindsight, and usually you're right, hindsight, of getting in. But again, these are the signatures that you want to see in price. Okay, so we're digging lower right now. Holding price here and just trying to trail it lower could be a strategy. I just don't know how far it's going to go. But right now we're at that quadrant. See, mean threshold, previous day low, quadrant here. Mean threshold of the daily wick. You guys can see here. I'm just transposing it temporarily so you guys can see. We'll see what we get here moving into this next macro. But I do want to see like an aggressive push lower, and then us inverting that and trying to fade the market. It's got to be patient here, guys, with the longs. If there is going to be longs. There you go. There's a push lower. Again, it's still very bearish, right? Everything is still ultra bearish. But we're patiently waiting for a possible reversal. All right, so while we wait, actually, I'll show you guys something after. Let's wait. Okay, so we got. It's not really like aggressively pushing lower here. Like this is like a tiny fair value gap. Fair value to the downside being a SIBI. Again, not loving this. But here's that first push. Here's the second push. What's ES doing? ES is dropping like a rock. Of course you are. I think ES, there's some London lows that it might be tagging from Wednesday, August the 19th. So ES never took out yesterday's lows yet. Or sorry, the day before's lows. No, yesterday's lows. Guys, I'm going crazy here. So yesterday's lows for ES untagged. Price might continue dropping lower until those might be tagged. So I'm actually holding off on my long here. I think NQ might be following ES's lead here. And here is a quick, can I show you guys this? Yes, I can. So if you guys look here on the right-hand side, we've got London lows from yesterday. And I have a feeling ES is going to be targeting this level here, okay? So I am still waiting. I still think this is, it's going to drop lower. And if you're unsure, you wait. Very simple. This fair value gap, I'm watching it on. I'm watching it on NQ. We want to see, like, if it does want to push lower, like, we want to see the support and continue using that order flow. There's some bearish order blocks here. Like, these are all order blocks that can push price to the downside. A shift in market structure would be up here. But again, I think ES is printing right now to the downside. I'm not going to take this, but I'm just going to draw this out here. I wonder if this is going to play out. Again, previous day low taken. This is not a trade you take. I'm just seeing here if it's going to push lower, but I think ES is not done the damage to the downside right now. So this is like using ES targets as an NQ position. All you really have here is this fair value gap, which are respected really nicely here. See these bodies here? They're not closing above mean threshold. What does that mean? It means that signatures are bearish order flow, but ultra low probability here. So do not take. We're just analyzing price here and seeing what would happen if you took price after it takes previous day's low, which we're waiting for reversal. Oh, NQ almost tapped those lows there. And by NQ, I mean ES. ES almost tagged London lows. See, I think I would have been cooked anyway, so good thing we didn't take this. But I still think it's going to drive lower. It has to drive just a bit lower, ES. And then I'll be waiting for, looking for for reversals. Price, don't do this, man. Don't start pumping. Come on, clear those lows for us. Let's go just a bit lower, guys. This has been inverted. So 1, 2, 3 nice respects to the upside. Big bullish push. Closure above. Again, am I going to be taking this long? I am not. I still think we're going to be digging lower here. We got to wait for a bit more here. Look at the 5 minute. Nothing bearish about the 5 minute, 15 minute. Nothing bearish about the 15 minute, 1 hour. Everything is still extremely heavy to the downside. So we're not going to be ticking these lows here. But I think this might be a good time to do a quick journal. So let me do this, guys. Let me share you a window with y'all. And it's a pretty cool tool I've been using. I'm designed to tell you this, guys. Pretty cool tool I'm using for the last month-ish or so. How do I share a browser? Window capture. Okay. All right. Okay, hopefully you guys can see my screen here. And see, there's that push lower on IQ. I knew it's going to go lower. And yes, finally took London lows. But anyways, I've been using Tradezilla for the longest time. And I got pulled into Tradecopia a month ago. I've been using them side by side. But what I really like about this product, guys, and number one, I think journaling is extremely important. If you guys don't journal, that is a big problem, because it allows you to understand where you're going right and wrong. And the cool thing about Tradecopia is it automatically connects to your Tradevate accounts, and it automatically pulls in like your position. Like today, look, I'm up just 2 accounts, $571.30. So just under $300 per account. 2 of them are connected. And what you do is you just basically go journal your trade. So you click on journal now. Here's a trade. You click on journal this. And the only thing I have to do here is just pull in my stop loss and my target. So profit level. Where's my stop loss level? Here it is. Perfect. Select strategy. This was just my pre-930 strategy. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just create a quick note here. Strong bearish price action amongst all time frames. Previous day low was the target after every single bearish PD array being respected after the suspension block held. A short was taken, scaled in over 3 minutes for a quick move lower. Wow, look at price push lower. Oh my gosh, this is actually hurting me a bit. So altogether, and let me just quickly screenshot this too, so I can see what price did here. Perfect. All right, screenshot taken. Downloads. And now I'm going to do a little quick upload here. All right, save journal. And just like that, here is my journal. And look at that. It tells you your accounts that you traded on. Like, this is sick. Like, the moment I saw this, it looks like I got a slippage too of $50 for my second followed account, which is cool to see. But altogether, up 600 for the day for this little dinky position that I took half risk for. So yeah, really cool tool. I'm again, I'm probably gonna drop a video on it soon, but it's pretty solid, guys. So, and it tells you like your it goes through your like reports, tells you everything about your trading, what your RR is. It's all automated. Like, there's nothing that you have to do here. And it's really cool. There's something called Orca AI as well. If you ask it a question to analyze your trades, a trend, anything, it's going to use all this data and give you quantitative analysis on it. So really like it so far. But anyways, the reason why I like it because it's just fast. But look at that. Journaling is done for trade one. All right. Now, yeah, no problem, guys. It's 8 o'clock right now. Again, I'm patiently waiting for a long here. Hopefully some of you guys made some money here today. But, man, this is painful to see this drop. Because like 1.7 was taken, would have been a 4. Again, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't look at it that way. I think everything here was very clean. Take your profits and keep moving forward. Guys, price is so bearish. It's crazy. So these relative equal highs here that I thought we'd trade into, it looks like it's going to be for another time. But where is price moving to next? What a push lower, guys. Savage for NQ to do this. Is anyone in shorts right now? Like, did anyone hold this? Price, like, where are you going to? It's breaking every single PD array that I'm seeing here. So here are the quadrants. And remember, finding high probability fair value gaps always sit on quadrants. Look at this right here, how price went into mean threshold of that wick and it rejected. I'm seeing this now. I didn't see it real time. I wasn't expecting for price to continue pushing lower from here. But you can see this fair value gap here is considered high probability. Why? It's sitting on an eighth. This is also high probability fair value gap. Why? It's touching a quadrant. So all of these fair value gaps they can be used in the future here. But like, where's price going? Here is a low here. Do I try to grab this low and do like a little short? Again, like this is called definition of chasing price. In my opinion, I can't do it. Why? It might work out, but if it doesn't, it's going to really hurt your confidence. So at this point, we'll see how it's going to react to mean threshold of that daily fair value gap, which is this dotted line, and the low of August the 6th. And because we're getting such a drop before the 9:30 session, this is crazy. This is an absolute crazy drop, guys. Yeah, it's going to drop lower. It's not stopping, guys. Thursday low is going to be under attack right now, this right here. So I'm going to see if I can get into like a little small position to the downside. Again, it's going to have to be something meaningful. Maybe like a fair value gap forming. Yeah, it's going to take it. I think long to this point are completely out of the picture. And because we had such a straight drop and pre 9:30, I don't think the 9:30 is going to be a clean session. And it might just have to be a session where you sit on your hands. Why? It's because it's usually like that. Clean morning, not clean afternoon. Clean pre 9:30. Again, I caught so little of this entire move. Again, 9:30 might be choppy. So do watch out. Do we have news today? Question 2. Forex Factory. Should have checked that earlier. 10 o'clock news, orange folder. So maybe after that, I might attempt to use that macro and that news event to drive price to a level. What level? I'm not sure. We just rejected the lower eighth of the daily fair value gap here. Again, this right here is where my eyes are at. I think this is like the draw. And the question is can we get into this position with like a clean entry? Getting into a fair value gap. Again, taking out a short-term high with an MMS, grabbing that short there. Like for example, like this, right? Like this. This I wouldn't be interested in. Like if price were to take out this low, it could possibly, just that'll be like a quick 1-to-1 trade. Not loving it, guys. You took a long. I think price is still ultra bearish. I just do not see it stopping. What would this be? Like if price takes that low, I think it's going to just sweep that really cleanly. Again, no fair value gaps here. Nothing that I can trade off of. I'm just seeing if I can squeeze out. And again, I'm going to be risking half a risk again on this just because we're so extended. But again, price is ultra bullish here. I would want to see this low swept before any possible reversals higher. Maybe something like that. And again, like 1-to-1. Some 30-second here. And it's noise at this point. We're gonna do a sell limit or sell stop. Yeah, sell stop would get me in the position, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Tempted. But this is ultra, like this is super scalpy. I shall wait. But again, like I think if this low gets taken here, it's just gonna rocket down to these lows right here. What do I have here on the higher time frames? No fair value gaps. Tiny fair value gap on the 5-minute. I'm gonna do a sell stop right there. If it tags me, then I'm going to have a buy limit right there. Oh, never tagged me. Okay. I'll let this go without me. This is ultra scalpy. Again, I think price is going to hit these lows. I'm not sure if it's going to be back and forth price action. It's 817 right now. If we get some kind of pullback to maybe these levels right here, or this bearish order block, I might see what price gives me. But right now I'm ultra reactive, which is not what you want to be when it comes to trading. So I just can't put my stop loss at a reasonable level without having one-to-one at this point. I would have to target below that low and assume that it's gonna spike lower. Relative equals lows formed. Bodies are staying below this 8th right here. Tough PA, guys. That's like it's. And then my stop loss would be above right there. I think I'm gonna let this go. If this plays out by itself, it will. It's just breaking a bit too many rules here. And I'm not gonna chase a one-to-one here. If it pushes higher and it gives us like a rejection of these two fair value gaps and gives us like a MMS, I think that might be a slightly better approach. And you start targeting like a 3-to-1 instead. So I'll do that. I like these relative equal lows here that formed. Same on ES. Again, you don't see that chart, but I'm liking that as well as a potential future target. Let's see if it wants to do some damage here. Take out some sell stops. Give us a reversal. Again, wouldn't want to see this level break here. This is very important. If we stay below this, I still think we're going to target this. Okay. Then when we punch above, like this short, I'm not interested anymore. So we'll see here if it wants to push up higher. Do we have a 5-minute fair value gap here? We do. Is it aligned with these levels here? It is. So this is like around like the 5-minute fair value gap as well. I think something like that would be ultra safe. 2.5 to 1. Stop well protected. If your bias is short and it's not going to break that mean threshold, it should never get to that mean threshold of that bearish 1-minute order block to the downside. And that might be the business. Hit that bearish order block sitting on the lowest quadrant. Nice little rejection. tiny little fair value gap that forms you to the upside. Again, I'm just position sizing here, but the safest approach would be getting to this 5-minute fair value gap, price finding some kind of support and pushing lower and grabbing those lows there. That's the only thing that's going to make sense here. From like a proper risk management perspective. So little bullish fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Maybe the 830. Maybe we might have a move here, and then the 830, you know, takes it lower to these lows. Those would be my thoughts. Vito, I don't know how you took a position at 29,250. We never even traded at that level yet. At least on my charts. There's also like a 5-minute fair value gap here. So this is going to be like 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, price, you can see here, it took this fair value gap here and inverted it, pushing to the upside now. Bearish order block, you can see like a definite push higher. We're going to be approaching the lower quadrant of that wick there on that Thursday candle. This one right here, top left. I'm really liking this new view. Like, it's really easy for me to point you guys to what I'm looking at in higher time frames. Is there any other fair value gaps here that I can use, or bearish order blocks, or anything ICT related where price can possibly reverse? And to be honest, the only thing I see is this right here as well. It's this quadrant. It could use this quadrant, reject, and then push to the bottom. But it'd be really nice to see it kind of go to this 5-minute fair value gap here and just show us body staying lower half. And then we'd have a really nice stop loss there, which shouldn't get hit if we're still bearish. It's a very safe level. But I think at this point, it just has to get to this price level. It did consolidate here a lot. Went into this fair value gap once again. Again, this is a high probability fair value gap. Why? It's because the candle is touching an Aether quadrant. So you'll see these fair value gaps, if they're anchored to the correct price structure, it does hold value. $830 macros in 3 minutes. So you might see some Body's still staying above this blue fair value up here on the 1 minute. Interesting rejection. I know that veto's long, but I still think some more damage to the downside is going to get done before we push higher. Again, that's my 2 cents. Once this maybe inverts the downside, like that might be the catalyst to push price lower, and it shouldn't get above that. But again, for like a high quality, good setup, I would want to see this 5 minute fair value gap getting traded to. Technically, there's like this like tiny little fair value gap here on the one. Nah, I'm not even gonna color that in, but this is technically a fair value gap on the 5 minute. It's so small though. Usually like with these small fair value gaps, I don't really look at them. I'm hoping price uses this, it pushes up higher, and then it gets that entry. What I want to see is just close below this and then just drive lower. These 2 relative equal lows here, I think they're extremely sus. But minor buy side has been taken. Technically this high right there on the 815 candle. Gun to my head, I think we're going to drop, but wouldn't want to. Yeah, there's that drop lower. Tag those lows there. Immediate push higher on the 1 minute. Again, it didn't close it. It closed in 30 seconds. So a lot can happen from a body perspective. And that's the low that's going to get targeted. I think we're SOL, chat. This here, if price closes higher, considered relative equal lows. This for me, yeah, it's a sweep, but the bodies tell the story. And if you look at the bodies, body, higher body, okay? This would be a low. So if price were to go up higher, and right now it's the 830 macro. This candle was on 830. But if it were to go higher, that would be relative equal lows here. But there's a really high % chance that it's just going to drive these lows. And if it drives the lows, then I'm going to be trying to do an aggressive long. Damn it, price. Damn it. No pullback. But it's okay. I'm up to, technically, on this trade was almost a 2R. So if I can do one more and get this data 4R, close it down. So wicked up, a body, close at the bottom of it. And then, you know, using like ICT's like 1 minute order flow, this is what he'd probably say. You won't want to see the mean threshold of this break from a body perspective. I don't trade so micro anymore, like looking at what each candle does. I feel like you might go crazy doing that. And I really try to follow ICT's like teachings on like 1 minute candle order flow. I do look at it, but at the end, like this is something that he would say. He says like, wouldn't want to see a body close above that, stay bearish, and then close lower. I look at that, close above it. So based on this wick right here, this is a more bullish close, and it would have been a lot nicer seeing that body close in the lower half. But I have a feeling at this point, guys, price, I want to see this. Price dig aggressively lower, grab this low, create a fair value gap sitting both on this level and on the mean threshold of the daily fair value gap. Invert this. Once there's a closure above that, that's a long. That's an insta long from my end. High probability IFEG play. Crazy amounts of sell side liquidity taken. High probability fair value gap IFEG. It has all the good stuff. Lower quadrant, body staying below it. How often do I go live? I used to do 5 days a week. I think now I'm going to do 2 days a week. So every Tuesday and Thursday, you'll see me live trade. And the reason why is because Tuesday and Thursdays are usually expansion days. And I feel like trading higher probability trades with you guys and days is just beneficial for both you and I, guys. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, pre-9:30 session, that's what we trade. And yeah, that's it, man. Look at that. 241 is going to get tagged. Very tough entry here, in my opinion. You could have used it like this, maybe. I don't know. Like this is it. You can even see this as like sideways consolidation at this point, but this is a draw. This eyeball right here. Price is going to tag it. And unfortunately, this position here, price just had to just creep up a bit higher. 20, 25 points higher. And that would have been a nice 3-to-1. But see here, you would have been fighting with like a 1-to-1. Like best case scenario 1-to-5, but to be honest, like assuming perfect entry 1-to-1. So if you don't feel bad for missing this short here, I think it was a very hard catch. Okay. So this right here, guys, this is not a sweep. Okay. This little dink of a wick, not a sweep. We want to see it aggressively drive lower and create a fair value gap. That fair value gap, it's going to be used as an inversion. And that's what's going to push price higher. Again, if you guys learned something today or you guys enjoy the stream, feel free to drop a like. It really helps me out. And hopefully, I'm getting really tired here on the stream, but hopefully we can, again, I'm just waiting for this long here. We'll see if we get it. So we can end it now. So this short never gave us the entry. Up next, there has to be some pullback, right? Like you're thinking, you're looking at all this price here and you're like, where is the pullback? And then what this would give us, it would give us an RTH gap that's fairly large of 250 points to the downside. So we might dig into this, fair value gap below us. Again, this one above us, I really want to see a draw to those relative equal highs that we talked about. Like, I really think this is going to get tagged. I just don't know when. But all we can tell is what price is currently doing now. And you can see right now it's going to go lower, guys. I'm pretty sure of this. 80% chance we're going to dig lower still. This is not the low. So if you guys are going long, I'll probably wait for just a bit more damage to the downside. Get a body to close below these levels. That's what you want to see. Body closure. Bodies tell the story. Wicks do the damage. And then what would I be targeting? I think as a very clean entry, probably this mean threshold of this candle right here. I think that's a great level to target. Or if you really want to hold it through the open, you could definitely target these highs here that we talked about, buy side. If this is the reversal and it goes there, I think that would be a month's money worth of profits there. Macro is in, let's give it 10 more minutes, guys. If I don't see anything meaningful by 9 o'clock, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to wait for the 9:30 open. Again, I kind of want to use the last couple of minutes of the hour to see if there's an entry. And then it's going to be like a 9 to 9:20 type approach. So we'll see. And I want to be respectful of all of your times as well. So if I'm not going to see anything meaningful happen, we're just going to cut the stream. But we've waited so long for longs, for meaningful longs. Price hit mean threshold of that daily fair value gap. You can see it respected it. It's 8 minutes of macro. Come on, one more push lower. IFEG, Bob's your uncle. I think a really good strategy is after days of consolidation, the next day is usually clean. So if you guys want to cherry pick or after expansion days, don't trade the next day. Like look at the daily. Expansion day, consolidation, expansion. See, expansion, consolidation, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, consolidation, expansion, consolidation. So uh-oh. See, I'm not convinced this is the low. So basically what happened, if you kind of look at price right now, it never tagged the low. And if it did, it tagged it by like one tick. And in my opinion, that is not something I'll trade off of. I want to see a body close below it. But I think if we do push up higher, which I'm not going to take right now because this is not what I'm looking for, it's going to drive lower and tag those lows. And that's going to be my new draw on liquidity. The low from Thursday, August the 6th to the low that's creating right now. So this is probably a pullback. What about ES? Let's look at ES. Good question, Neptune. Let's quickly look at ES together. All right, here's ES. Here's the 1 hour. ES, technically, there is crazy SMT. So that's the Thursday low that I was looking at. You can see here we punched lower. Let's look at the 4 hour daily. So yeah, ES is looking a bit different than NQ. So it does look all bullish. It's just would, and like this is the question I'm asking myself, and all of you were completely different traders, but would I take a long after, you know, ES tagged all sell side liquidity and NQ, it basically, it touched that low, it created relative equal lows and it starts reversing. This is a move I wouldn't participate in. And if it goes without me, it's fine. I'm going to catch it up here somewhere. Like if that was a true low, I'll catch it up higher. But I'm not going to be betting my risk on that this was the low when it leaves something like that. Like this is extremely suspicious. And when there's something like that, it's I'm not gonna, you know, be taking that. Like you're saying that there's like a 5-minute rejection block on ES. Like what's going to be the rejection block? Like that lowest wick candle, like that's going to be a possible rejection block. Like we'll have to see price going into and rejecting it. But I'm still looking at more damage below this low here and getting back above mean threshold and using that mean threshold of that daily to push price higher. So this is going to be like, we're probably going to end the stream soon, but this is going to be like a future fair value gap, you know, to possibly use. Right. And just remember, it has to be high probability sitting on, this is such a, price just had to push one more candle lower and give us a fair value gap. This sucks to see, but it is what it is. I'm expecting price to go lower. You create some kind of fair value gap here, and I'll be using that as my IFVG, you know, first presentation of a fair value gap after a sweep, the inversion of it, and going long. All right, guys. This is the business. I think I'm going to cut it today. I'm going to take a breather before the 9:30 open. Wanted to see one candle lower before we going higher. We never had that. Price just started printing higher and never took out the low from Thursday. It tapped it by one tick. Decided to push higher. No entry here for me. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to sit on my hands and wait a bit more. So again, not high probability conditions in my opinion. Vito is long from 250, so that's freaking awesome. That may have been the low, right? It's just I don't like how that low formed. I'm very picky on my entries. But again, you can see here 5-minute shift in structure right now in the 5-minute to the upside. And the $1 million question is this the low, right? So this is technically look right here. This is an MMS market structure shift. Sorry, right there. It just tagged the high. Here's going to be a 5-minute fair value gap that we're going to be approaching. Yeah, it's possible on the low, right? But this is like the MMS right here that we shift the market structure to the upside. Crazy amount of damage to the downside. Maybe if like a fair value gap here forms on this quadrant and it pushes down to it, you might want to push it up higher. And then like where would you have like your stop loss here? Maybe below the swing low here. It gets tough, guys. It's going to like a 5-minute fair value gap right now. It'll be really nice to see it stop there, push lower, go into this bearish order block, and then push higher. Maybe something like, and like what would you target, right? That's the question. I think mean threshold of the daily Thursday wick, I think that's a pretty doable target for like a 2.5 to 1. Right now, time's 8:50. My least favorite time is trading from 8:50 to 9:30. So this fair value gap's confirmed. It's sitting on a quadrant. It's high probability, okay? It also formed right before a macro, which is nice to see. Let's see if it's going to dig lower. If it's going to dig lower here without touching the 5-minute fair value gap, and it gives it like a nice little rejection, bodies don't want it. Again, that might be possible longs. MMS 5-minute. We're going, what quads? Look at my top left chart. That's the daily. That's right here. And we want to see ultimately that mean threshold. He has just a target price will reach to. Could you go break even and just hold it and it's ultra bullish post open? Maybe, right? So, okay, so let's see how, like, I want to see if price, and what would that be? If I'm risking, come on, price, just come down, come lower. Price is moving right now into like a 5-minute fair value gap here. So remember like the high probability fair values that I talked about? Especially this one right there. It's approaching them right now. Again, remember, suspicious low here. I would be risking personally 3R here, or sorry, 50% of an R, which is $150 for me. Full risk is 300. And I'll be trying for this like 3 to 1 here. If price kind of comes lower, and just, it shows me that I am going to respect this fair value gap, and I will push to the upside. But it looks like the macro's freaking pushing right now. So we're in the 5-minute fair value gap here. See, that's like now the entry I'm not loving so much, because if it does pull back to that 1-minute fair value gap, it means that it's, you know, it may reject that 5-minute fair value gap, which we have marked there. Price, man. This is very clean price action too, guys. Don't get me wrong. This is I will take this PA, even though it doesn't give me entries. I'll take this PA any day over some of the choppier PA that we had. So if price were to reject this, I'd want to see a bit more here, knowing that price is going to come back into this 5-minute fair value gap and reject it. We're also going into like a 15-minute fair value gap too right now. Seeing a closure above this and that's going to confirm possibly bullish interim, but we are opening in 35 minutes. So this is where, again, you just have to be picky, guys, with price. Just be very picky. It's 1-2 trades a day and you're done. Like for me, technically, like my daily target off the current 2 accounts that I'm trading is you know, $500. I've already hit it, but I think with these conditions here, I think I can squeeze a bit more. So just, again, it's just a game of patience. The more patient you are, I think the more you'll make ultimately. I think there's a high correlation. And you can see here, like, where would you have entered? I think maybe this fair value gap right here, right? On this push lower. But again, shift in structure on the 1 minute, fair value gap, expansion to the downside. I'm seeing this right now. I didn't see it real time. So my miss right there on that entry. ES is going to invert. So ES right now is inverting. Fair value gaps. We'll give price 4 more minutes. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll kill it. So price close in the upper half of that 5-minute fair value gap. This is signature bullishness, okay? Why? If it was truly, if it was very bearish, the bodies would never get above that mean threshold of that 5-minute fair value gap. I don't think price is going to come back to this level here. It closed above this fair value gap, above the 0.75 quadrant. Congrats, Vito, man, for that long all the way from down here. To be honest, again, hindsight, this is a true miss from my end. This was, and again, I was just, the reason why is because my bias was still down here. But this is the shift in market structure after this little tap here. Again, I don't see that as like a valid liquidity sweep. And then that expansion higher, and that could have been a possible entry there. So I guess for everyone's notes, including mine, like this is technically a mistrade. Something like that. Do something like that, like a 2-to-1. Or if you're ultra aggressive, getting it below that fair value gap that created that fair value gap, which you know, pushed away from. And it was used as support in the past, so it is a high probability fair value gap. You're still holding? Nice. You should be at break even though, I think, at a bare minimum. Plus 40 USD. Nice. All right, so I'm watching to see what price is going to do now, and I know we're closing off soon, but I'm officially done at 9. We'll see how price respects this fair value gap here. And again, why wouldn't I go in along here? Like for example, like this, like say, hey Dom, like isn't going to respect this fair value gap, and just like, again, like you can definitely like take a position like this, but just know that we are in such a expansion here that we could have a deeper retracement even to this fair value gap here and then push higher. So this possibility, this possibility. And sometimes when I have those two possibilities, again, I feel like this is more like gambling. There is an edge to it, don't get me wrong, but I'd probably want to see, you know, a bit more from the markets. But I do think that there's a pretty high probability of this pushing up higher now. Again, using this 5-minute fair value gap, I want to see if the candles, the bodies are going to get in the lower half here. If they don't, again, it might push to this, but again, this was a fairly strong order block here from the move lower. So that's the quick analysis there. One minute till the 9 o'clock candle might create a little spike. So FYI, there might be like an injection of volume on that candle. So something to anticipate. But I feel like this high here is under attack. And I was gonna wait for this 9 o'clock candle, and we'll call it a day, guys. And I think it was an okay trading session. There was one true miss that was done here. But again, what threw me off was just remember, guys, put this in your notes. This sell side liquidity sweep is technically not a real one, but the market used it as the low. So again, we're just finding an edge here, repeatable patterns. And again, I closed today off with 1.8 to 1. So just under $600 across my funded accounts. And I will try to squeeze in one more win if something presents itself clearly. But without further ado, guys, I think tomorrow we won't be live streaming, but next Tuesday we will be. And there you go. There's that stupid push to the high of this candle. So one true miss here, I think, for 2R. This was somewhat clean, but my bias was still skewed to the downside. Take care, guys. Safe trading. And if you guys want to tune in, I'll be streaming next Tuesday, 6:50-ish Eastern. Take care, guys.